to make rabbit skin glue. This is Utrecht brand rabbit skin glue. And you can see that it's granular. This is a pellet. It's more of a pellet form. And this is the one I prefer. This is a stronger glue mixture. The instructions are on the back. I think it's like 6 tablespoons to a quart of water. Now, the way you make this is you use filtered or distilled water. That will, one of the leading causes of cracking or crazing is impurities. And you can have a perfectly primed canvas and everything's prepared right, but if you use unfiltered, dirty water from the water system, you can have cracking or crazing. So distilled, pure, filtered water, always the best. Cold. Now the measurements are simple for the pellets. It's 1/4 to 1, so you can graduate it at any amount. So I have a cup of water to a cup of granules. Here it is. So I'm going to pour a cup of water into this jar, and I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of granules into the jar. Let's give it a nice light little shake, and then we refrigerate that for 6 hours. And every time you pass by the refrigerator, it's not a bad idea to turn it upside down occasionally and let that water soak in evenly. So I made the glue yesterday and refrigerated it, and it looks like this. Little gelatinous pellets. And so what we need to do now is cook it in a double boiler. You don't want to cook it too hot. You want to cook it around, just around 100 degrees, blood warm. Okay, so I've got this pan filled up with water about 2/3 of the way. We need this little double boiler. I think I'll add a little bit more water. We have this tuna fish can that has a double boiler, and it has little holes punched into it by the air. And we want that to go under the water. Now we're not going to bring this to a roaring bubble. I've often cooked it in these glass jars. This glass is really cool, and we want to avoid shocking it. I've had glasses break in the past. They shouldn't break because they need to be sterilized by that, but anyhow, I'm going to just transfer it over to the can for right now. And we just want to get it warm enough to melt these little gelatinized pellets. Now the blood warm is, right now it's cold, so if I take a pellet and put it on my wrist, I can feel it. Blood warm is where you don't feel any of the any temperature. If it's hot, it's not blood warm. If it's cold, it's not blood warm. This water's heating up. It's quite tepid now. I'm just stirring these. They're still very cold. Now it will become liquid when it's, I can remove a little bit of this water. I'm stirring it so it'll heat evenly. Start distributing. Now that's getting, the outside temperature of the water is getting quite warm now. Yes. Now it's starting to melt. You can see right in there, it's starting to turn liquefy. You want to make sure that you don't overheat it, because if you overheat it, you will weaken it. There, it's becoming, starting to turn liquid. You see that? Check the temperature. It's starting to be blood warm. And go like this. Still a little cool. Almost there. Blood warm. That's it. So there you have it. You have your rabbit skin glue. And that should be enough to do this little canvas. It has indefinite shelf life. It's powdered. This pellet has indefinite shelf life. Store airtight. And the melted glue, store 7 to 10 days in a refrigerator. If your refrigerator has a cold spot in it, store as far away from the cold spot so it doesn't freeze. Freezing is just as bad as overheating. Where to purchase the glue? Glue powder. Every art supply store, retailer, source has glue powder. I would not recommend getting the glue powder unless you're absolutely desperate and can't get anything else. Glue pellets I get from gilding suppliers. I used to use Sep Leaf. I think they're still in business. They're an excellent gilding supply house. When I did gilding, there were about 4 suppliers in the United States. Now there's hundreds of suppliers in the United States. Glue strength. This powdered type of glue is a stronger glue. And it's not about glue strength, it's about controlling the strength of the glue. Too strong a glue can cause your canvases to warp. And we want to have just the right strength so that your canvases are tight and firm, have a good barrier, and won't warp. This, I have greater control over the glue strength. So I recommend the pallets. It will store indefinitely.